Hi everyone, we've got a normal distribution question here which is worth 15 marks. So this is the kind of question that can make or break a grade A star. It really is. So I can't emphasize how important it is to be confident on this kind of question. So let's have a look. It says a health centre claims that a doctor spends the time that a doctor spends with a patient can be modelled by a normal distribution with a mean of 10 minutes and a standard deviation of 4. Okay. Perfect. So let's say T is the time spent. It's normally distributed with a mean of 10 minutes and a standard deviation of 4. So that's the distribution for the time that the doctor spends with the patient. Using this model, find the probability that the time spent with a randomly selected patient is more than 15 minutes. So we want to find out the probability that the time spent is greater than 15. Okay. So we're going to go, obviously, it depends what calculator you're using. I'm just using a basic one here, and it's the old obsolete one now anyway. Let's use one that's current. Here we go. So let's use this one, which is current. So I'm going to go to normal CD, and I'm going to select my lower as 15. I'm going to put my upper as just a really big number. So just bung a load of zeros in there. The mean here is 10. And the standard deviation is 4. Okay, so that's giving me a value of 0.1056. Okay, so let's write that down. So that's our time, 0.1056. So we could say that is 0.106 to 3 significant figures. All right, we're one mark in. Oh wow. Some patients complain that the mean time that the doctor spends with a patient is more than 10 minutes. The receptionist takes a random sample of 20 patients and finds that the mean time the doctor spends with the patient is 11.5 minutes. Stating your hypothesis clearly and using a 5% level of significance, test whether or not there is evidence to support the patient's complaint. Now, the key word here is the word sample, okay? Because in this kind of question, sometimes they like to do a bit of a binomial as well, and they might say, 8 patients were randomly picked to find out whether they spent a certain amount of time. So that can often be binomial, but the key word to look out for is that word sample. Whenever you see the word sample, you know that you're doing hypothesis testing for a sample in the normal distribution. So they've mentioned the word sample, so let's have a look. So we're going to say that this is our distribution for our sample. So if you may remember, we have, it's going to be sigma squared over n, and mu are our, that's how we define our sample. So let's put this in, see what we've got. The mean is going to be the same, so the mean is still going to be 10. Standard deviation is now going to be 4 squared over the sample size, which was 20. That's the receptionist sample, 20 patients. Okay, there we go. So that's going to be our distribution. Now, we've got to define our null and our alternative hypotheses. So let's have a look at this. Our null hypothesis is that the mean amount of time per patient hasn't changed. It is still 10 minutes. The patients are complaining that the doctors are spending more than 10 minutes. So therefore, it's a one-tail test. Okay. So the alternative hypothesis is that the mean amount of time spent with each patient is greater than 10 minutes. So that's fine. So now it was found, the receptionist found that the mean amount of time spent with a patient was actually 11.5 minutes. So in this distribution, let's find out the probability that T bar is greater than 11.5. So let's go back to our calculator. So our lower, by the way, if you're using a CG100 or something like that, using one of these ones, this is the one I recommend if you're using a graphical one, you can be selecting the right-hand tail. You don't need to necessarily do it in the way that I'm doing it here in the more fundamental calculator. So the lower is 11.5. So, whoops, not 111.5, Mr. Guffick. Let's try again. So it is 11.5. So 11.5. Okay, that's our lower. Our upper's like a really big number. Our mean is still 10, that's fine. Now, the standard deviation, a little bit different here. It's going to be the square root of 4 over 20. Okay, so square root No, actually, square root of 4 squared over 20. So it's going to be the square root of 16 divided by 20. Okay, let's close that bracket. There we go. So I've worked that out, and let's see what that gives us. That gives us 0.0467. Okay, let's write that down. So there we go. So that is 0.04677. Okay, so we've worked that out now. Let's see what's next. It's now time to compare this with the significance level. Okay, so therefore, our 0.046, let's just call it 8, is less than 0.05. Notice we haven't had to halve the significance level because of the way that it's just a one-tailed test. So that wasn't necessary. We are therefore in the critical region because this is less than this. And this is the bit that always confuses students, you know, when am I in the critical region? When do I reject the null hypothesis? And so on. A student a few years ago told me that her teacher said that statisticians don't like to accept anything. And so therefore it's perhaps not best to say that we're going to accept HO. A better way to say it, I think, is we're in the critical region. So therefore we can say that we can reject HO. We're going to basically rejecting HO in this particular situation. Because we're in the critical region, we're going to reject HO. So that means that there is sufficient evidence to suggest that the mean amount of time that a doctor's spending with a patient is in fact greater than 10 minutes. So there is sufficient evidence to reject HO. And there's enough evidence to support the claim that the mean amount of time being spent with a patient by the doctors is over 10 minutes. And that is the 4 marks done for that one. Now, what's next? The health centre also claims that the time that a dentist spends with a patient during a routine appointment, T minutes, can be modelled by that normal distribution. Okay. Using the model, find the probability that a routine appointment with the dentist takes less than 2 minutes. So this is just in our new model for the distribution. We've got 5 and we have 3.5 squared, and we just want to work out the probability that t is less than 2 in this distribution. Okay, that's fine. So here we are. Let's have a look. So lower, just a really big negative number if you're using this kind of calculator. Upper is going to be 2 minutes. The mean in this case is 5 and the standard deviation is 3.5. So that is 0.1957, okay? So that is 0.1. In fact, I might just give it to 3 significant figures. 0.1962, 3 significant figures. Okay, that's fine. So that is our C part 1. Find the probability. Now this is where things start to get a little bit sort of confusing to students. Find the probability that the time is less than 2 minutes given that the time is greater than 0. Now you may remember from our previous work on conditional probability on Venn diagrams, when you've got this here, this is our reduced sample space, the given that it is greater than 0. So that means that the denominator of our fraction, so we could write this as, this is going to be the probability that the time is less than 2 but greater than 0, given that the time is greater than 0. Okay, so if we wanted to think about what that represents, that's what it's going to represent. And it's important that when we put this into the calculator, the t is less than 2, you don't put in like a really big negative number here. You just like, we're going to go between 0 and 2 when we work that one out. Because a really big negative number isn't included in our reduced sample space because t is only greater than 0. So let's work this out then. So t is greater than 0. So we're going to have 0 as our lower limit. Our upper limit is going to be a really big number. Our mean is 5 and our standard deviation is 3.5. So we work that out. That gives me 0.9234 for my denominator. 0.9234 is my denominator there. Okay, 234, let's have another degree of accuracy, 4. Okay, now the numerator is going to be, the lower is going to be 0. That's very important. I think it's easy to make a mistake there. The upper is 2, the mean is 5, and the standard deviation is 3.5. Okay, and that gives me 0.11912. So 0.11912, like so. Okay, that's fine. And then when we work that out, that turns out to be 0.128995. So that's the answer to part 2 there. So yeah, a couple of little tricky things where you could trip up there. This next bit I think is a little bit tricky. Hence explain why this normal distribution may not be a good model for time. So in a normal distribution, we've basically got this distribution here. Now we found out that for our value of time, we've got a mean of 5 here. So there's our mean of 5. And we found out that between 0 and 2 has a certain probability. Okay, we found that between 0 and 2 has this value here. So the problem with this is, if you notice here to the left of the 0, there's a shape, there's an area, there's a probability. So we've actually got this model predicts that there is a certain probability that a doctor could spend less than 0 time with a patient, which makes no sense whatsoever. So I think the way you could say is that there is a non-negligible probability for times t less than 0. Let's write that down. There is a non-negligible probability of t is less than 0, which makes no sense. Okay, so that's part 3. Okay, now this next bit, 5 marks at the end of this question, super tricky, I think. It says the dentist believes that she cannot complete a routine appointment in less than 2 minutes. Okay. Oh yeah, I hadn't noticed we've gone from doctors to dentists, haven't we? So the dentist believes that she cannot complete a routine appointment in less than 2 minutes. She suggests that the health centre should refine the model to only include values for t is greater than 2. Find the median time for a routine appointment using this new model, giving your answer correct to 1 decimal place. So the median time. Now, what we're saying then, this is the subtlety, I think, with this question, is if we're talking about the median time, the median is the middle, okay? And if we're talking about the middle, then what that implication of that is that this area here to the left is going to be 0.5, okay? So if we're halfway through, because remember the area underneath the distribution is 1, okay? So if we're talking about the median, then we're going to be setting the area to 0.5. So the probability is going to be 0.5. Now, what are we looking at? So we're trying to find out what is the probability for some time. We don't know what it is, but it has to be, given that it has to be greater than 2. So that's what we're trying to find out, is equal to 0.5. So the dentist believes that she can't complete an appointment in less than 2 minutes. She suggests that the health centre should use a refined model to only include variables of greater than 2. So it's the probability of the time of the appointment given that it has to be greater than 2. And that has to equal 0.5 because that's the median. And this is what I think is super tricky about this particular question. I mean, it's, the very end of the paper, but it is, 5 marks, so it's a really big thing. Okay, so this is going to be the probability of t is greater than some value that we do not know over the probability that t is greater than 2 in this distribution equals 0.5. So let's work out our probability of t is greater than 2 then. So our lower is going to be 2, our upper is going to be some really big time. The mean in this distribution is 5 and the standard deviation is 3.5. Okay, so that gives us 0.804, so that's fine. Let's write that down, wherever that is. Oh yeah, that's here. So 0.804317. Probability of t is greater than sometime t equals 0.5. So therefore the probability of t is greater than t is equal to 0.5 times by that 0.804317. Okay, which when we work that out, that is, what is that going to be? Let's work it out. Oh gosh, I wouldn't know how to do it on this calculator, changing that. So when we times those together, I'm just going to have to, aren't I? So let's have a look. So 0.8, oh gosh, honestly, these calculators. Right, let's go, there we go. not quite familiar with this particular calculator. Right, okay, 0.804317 multiplied by 0.5, there we go, that is correct. Okay, so 0.402, so 0.4021585, like so. So now what we've got to do is work out what's the probability that's associated with that. So we're going to do an inverse normal now. Okay, so let's go across to distributions. We're going to do inverse normal now. Inverse normal. We're going to put an area of 0.402. Now, where's the back button on this calculator? I can just imagine lots of people at home going, Mr. Guffick, it's obvious it's there. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Got it. Right, there we go. 0.402 158. Okay. Now the mean is 5 and the standard deviation is 3.5. Okay, and let's see what that value gives us. So that gives me a value of 4.1 there. Let's just check and see whether or not that is correct. Actually, that is not correct, and I'll tell you why. I've just realized that we've got here the probability of t is greater than t is this 0.4. So this 0.4 is actually the area over at the right-hand side of this distribution. So what I need is, I need to do 1 minus that, okay, in order to put that into my inverse normal, okay? All right, perfect. So let's cancel on this calculator. Where's the cancel button? And then home, and then across to calculate. Inequality spreadsheet, calculate. Okay, so we're going to do 1 minus that 0.402 there we go. There we go. So that's actually, so this area over here is the one that we want then. 0.597842. That's what we want, okay. Right, so we are going to do an inverse normal with that area. Now that we've got the right side of the distribution. Again, that doesn't matter if you're using the 𝗔-𝗟𝗃𝗃 or 100, because you could just select the right hand tail and use that probability. But if you're using this kind of calculator, we need to go over from the left hand side. So we're going to do an inverse normal, which counts from the left hand side, but we've got the area we're saying of 0.597842. with a mean of 5 and a standard deviation of 3.5, put that in. That's looking a lot better now, 5.867. Okay, so that time is equal to 5.867. So we could say the time is equal to 5.9 minutes if we're giving it to 1 decimal place. Okay. And that is the answer to, it says give the answer to 1 decimal place. So 5.9 is the correct answer there. Wow, what a question. That's a mammoth question, wasn't it? Hard to believe that it's 15 marks. You know, that's really quite something. Okay, I hope you found that helpful. If you could remember to like and subscribe to the channel, that's going to help me to keep on making more videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.